You are listening to the Station of the Year, SAfm, leading the conversation.
A big welcome to you, Clement Chauke. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good afternoon to you, Patricia, and your listeners. Thanks for having me.
So, A-Teamers, Clement Chauke is a social activist, a leader of the African Leadership Movement, a community builder, and a business leader. Today, we're talking about passion projects. Are they still relevant, and are they relatively equally important where budget is concerned to tackle our social issues? I mean, with the global development of Russia invasion or Russia-Ukraine standoff taking place in different parts of Ukraine, relatively this war has uncovered the weakened political and economical turmoil that the world faces. And this is given that many countries globally co-depend on each other, on goods and services. And we saw this when the oil prices rocketed up, maize and grain prices were high because we could not get them into the African countries from likes of Ukraine and Russia. And it requires exporting and importing, right, of goods and services. And citizens also, I mean, we are global citizens. People are working in different parts of the world. And this showed us how global economics and finances work. And if things are not done right, there are challenges. So to you, Clement, tell us, what is the African Leadership Movement as we get into our conversation?
Thanks for having me once again. African Leadership Movement is an organization that seeks to transform followers into leaders. So we achieve those objectives by hosting seminars, business seminars, sports events, talent shows, and workshops. That's what we do.
Now, why is your organization so passionate about young people in schools?
The reason why the organization is passionate about the young people in particular, it's because of some of us, we grew up in townships where we were told that young people are future leaders. And the question was never asked that what is it that makes one to become a leader? We thought to ourselves that as we grow up, we will become leaders by default. And unfortunately, that didn't happen, and it still continues not to happen in many of our black communities. So we are targeting young people in townships to equip them with the skills of becoming better leaders. And we know that if we can manage to capture them young as they are, we will have a better South Africa tomorrow.
Most definitely, and I do agree with you. So perhaps take us through the journey. How does the leadership movement, African Leadership Movement, incorporate young people within schools, within your project?
So basically what we do schools outreach programs on weekly basis. We identify disadvantaged schools and disadvantaged communities. And when we go to those schools, we go with a number of transformational speakers and motivational speakers. So far, we've been working with people who are ex-convicts, for example. So if you have somebody who has knowledge about what crime can lead one to, and they speak to young people about the dangers of crime and how their prison life experience is, that on its own is an eye-opening thing for young people. And the other thing that we do when we go to schools, we do activation when it comes to sports and talent. That's what we do. And we also have people who have committed to partner with us in terms of drug rehabilitation programs and also awareness when it comes to substance abuse and things like GBV.
Now, I know that at Leadership Movement, African Leadership Movement, you're also very interested in the running of, things in our society to make sure that there's proper development. So how are you planning as African Leadership Movement in assisting municipalities in developing programs that will better our future?
So the programs that we are looking at developing, basically so far, as we have done as an organization, we formed a movement that is active, as I said previously, that we go to different schools on weekly basis. So the programs that we run in schools, they are tailor-made. They consist of leadership programs, substance abuse awareness. So what we're going to do this year, we are basically going to multiply ourselves. So the same template that we are using when we go to different schools, as we will be interacting with different municipalities. We will identify people who will become responsible for equipping people whenever we are not there or when we are not able to reach out to their community.
And obviously there is importance for civil society to be part of such programs. How can you make sure that civil society is also part of the initiatives that you are working on?
What we do sign the MOUs with different organizations, and then we do pitch to different organizations that share similar objectives like the objectives we have as an organization. So that on its own, it helps us in terms of partnership and roping them into the vision that we have as an organization.
So how has the experience been so far to work with municipalities, especially that you are not making money from this, but you are rather working to serve communities?
The experience so far, what I can say, it has been good. In Tshwane municipality, last year as we were waiting, we managed to partner with SAPS. So having SAPS on board, that on its own, it added more credibility to the work that we do. When it comes to things like crime awareness projects, SAPS came in handy in that regard. And as we were traveling in number of schools, we have identified that there's issue of substance abuse. And as an organization, we don't have capacity for school drug search, but having SAPS on board, it helped us in terms of schools drug search.
And was the municipality very open to working with you? I mean, we know that municipalities have a lot of challenges that some are grappling to deal with, but were they open to working with your organization?
Yes, they were open to work with the organization, but now what happened last year is we only had meetings with them just to give them a picture of what the organization is all about, and we are looking forward to a strong partnership with Tshwane Municipality this year, 2023.
And can you take us through, Clement, some of the programs, what they entail, what are they about, and how do, they benefit the municipality and, especially on the level of service delivery?
In terms of service delivery, I think the aspect that we're going to look at, because I know most of the time when we speak about service delivery, people think about the number of things, but I think the most neglected element of everything is giving our young people skill sets to equip them to become independent. We have high rate of youth unemployment in South Africa. So last year we had number of business seminars that we hosted. So these business seminars, we managed to equip young people with business skills in terms of how to register a business and how to market your business and a number of things. And so far we have seen greater results when it comes to entrepreneurship in our communities.
And, with your program, you work a lot with data, right? And obviously data gives us what input and output comes in from the program's deliverables. Can you tell us what are some of the disadvantages that you picked up from your data when you engaged with learners in terms of the assistance that they need?
So personally, as a speaker or president of the organization, I am a graphic designer who is self-taught, and I've managed to make money out of that, and I'm still making money out of that. So when we were hosting business seminars, I did try to give young people skills to become graphic designers. But the disadvantage now in our communities has been most of them, they don't have access to internet and also access to computers. So that has been a great disadvantage for them to start their own businesses as graphic designers.
Okay, so if access to internet is the challenge, is the municipality that you're working with able to open up areas where there is free Wi-Fi connections? Because I know this was a big run that the municipality was working on.
Yeah, in Tshwane we do have sections, or rather let me say spots, where there is free Wi-Fi access. But so far there are also areas that they don't have coverage when it comes to free Wi-Fi. So this year, as we will be engaging with our municipality, we will also give them data in terms of communities that need access to free Wi-Fi.
Okay, hopefully this data is going to open up more Wi-Fi opportunities for young people. But it can't surely just be Wi-Fi that they are struggling with. Load shedding, is it not one of the challenges that they are facing as well? Especially those times where it's exam period and you need to be studying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, load shedding on its own, it had a great impact when it comes to our economy and the studies for young people, because you have those people who are active when it comes to studying at night, and you have those who are active when it comes to studying during the day. And then if you are that kind of a person like myself, I can only study at night. And when there's no electricity, that on its own is a great disadvantage for people like myself. So I think, when it comes to the issue of load shedding, we seriously need great intervention as a country.
Tell us, what are the programs looking like for this year of 2023 for the African Leadership Movement? What are you planning for this year, Clement? Seems like we've lost Clement. We can't hear Clement at all. I don't know what to do now. Maybe let's quickly try and see if we can get hold of him, because I really love the work that his program is doing, the African Leadership Movement. And it's I know it's concentrated mostly in Tshwane, but with more support and more people coming behind it, it could definitely spread to the rest of the country, of which that's what we want, for young people to have all the support that they can get necessary for them to make it through in these tough times. Let's take a quick break and hopefully we'll get back to him. But if we don't, then we'll go to music before we speak finances.
Here, there, and everywhere. SAfm 105.5 FM in Tabazimbi. Tweet at SAfm Radio and at Patricia N. Nduli.
All right, I think we managed to get back at Clement. Clement, I was asking you, what does your calendar look like for 2023 at the African Leadership Movement?
So our calendar for 2023 as the African Leadership Movement, we are planning to reach out to all the municipalities in Gauteng. Last year, what we have done, our main focus was Tshwane, and so far we have managed to do a lot of work in Tshwane. And starting from next week, our schools outreach program, we are starting, and I must say I'm already excited and looking forward to equipping young people. And on the 28th of January, we are having an educational program that has to do with awareness when it comes to rape and educating people about rape in particular. The seminar will be hosted at Kosi Mamburu.
Excellent. And if people want to be part of the seminar, or even to, get in touch with you at the African Leadership Movement, how do they do so?
If you want to become part of the seminar, you can call us on our landline number. Our office number is 087 265 6001. 087 265 6001.